equities market resumed trading activities on a positive note as NSE ASI records 0.30% gain amid decreased volume turnover as market sentiment and market breadth closed negative. Its year-to-date returns currently stands at minus 10.22%. Welcome to the Market Opening Gong, the program that gives you updates from the Nigerian capital market. This edition captures the market performance for Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. From the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the All-Share Index closed at 24,097.48 basis points with a market capitalization of 12.570 trillion naira in 4,060 deals. At the close of trading for the day, investors gained 37.26 billion naira as market recorded 17 gainers to 18 losers. Red Star Express, Wapik Insurance and T&I Leasing were top gainers for equity, while Okomu Oil Palm, UNILEVER Nigeria and MRS Oil Nigeria were among the top losers. Guarantee Trust Bank, Access Bank and MTN Nigeria Communications were the top players in terms of trade volumes and most active to boost market turnover. Looking at the FMDQ OTC exchange, the debt market size closed at 28.74 trillion naira. The NAFEX rate closed at 388 naira 40 kobo to a dollar, while the I&E FX rate opened at 387 naira 13 kobo to a dollar and closed at 386 naira 50 kobo to a dollar. For the NASD OTC, the NSI closed at 711.74 basis points with a market capitalization of 522.82 billion. The volume of shares traded was 38,245 and 7.441 million in terms of value traded in 11 deals executed for the day. You can also check for global, commodity, currency and other indices on the economic dashboard displaying on the screen. For the highlights from yesterday, the continued implementation of the 10-year Capital Market Master Plan will be one of the major focus of the new management of the Securities and Exchange Commission. With the resumption of the DG Lamido Yuguda on Monday, July 6th, alongside the executive commissioners, namely Reginald Karausa, Ibrahim Boyi, and Dayo Obison, the new management team brings to SEC decades of capital market and organizational market experience between them. The new DG Lamido said, while the new management team at SEC also seeks possible ways of strengthening the Capital Market Master Plan for enhanced impact, the members will equally work towards improved market regulation, surveillance, and general development. Also, from the AFEX Commodities Report, Commodities Index Composite experienced a massive uptick to close at 246.46 basis points in the week under review. The index performance appreciated by 21.31% week on week due to the positive market performance of the maize and soybean sub-indices against the previous week performance. Paddy rice fell slightly by 1.08% to close the trading week at 175,000 per MT. Maize and soybean appreciated by 37.33% and 2.50% to close the trading at 161,167 per MT and 134,275 MT respectively. Export commodities, ginger and cocoa experienced losses of 5.37% and 4.65%. In a continuation of our series on how to invest and create wealth for millennials with Mrs. Tomi Balogun, she speaks on the financial markets and demystifying investment terms for millennials today.
Let's talk about financial markets. So there are financial markets, which is where financial securities are traded, basically. So we have major stock market, we have the money market. So the money market is where we trade short-term securities. So by short-term securities, I mean securities that you trade that have a tenure of less than a year. So you have the 90-day treasury bill, you have the 180-day treasury bill, you have the 365-day treasury bill. So in the money market, they trade short-term financial securities that you can liquidate in less than a year. So you have treasury bills in the money market, you have commercial papers in the money market, basically, and all kinds of instruments, but they're always mostly short-term, which means that you can liquidate them in less than a year. So the treasury bill, what's a treasury bill? Treasury bill basically means that you're lending to the government. Think about it that the government comes and says that, oh, I need some money, right? And I need you to give me some money and I will pay you back over a period of 90 days or 180 days or 365 days. That's what treasury bill is. Okay. Now, in Nigeria, we've seen a case where over time, the rate on treasury bill has changed over time. For instance, 6-7 years ago, treasury bills were trading at, say, 5%. Then over a period, we saw it go to about 13%. We went to as much as 25% for a 365-day treasury bill at some point. But now we are back to low figures, right? So it's important to understand how economic indicators also affect investment opportunities. So I remember when it went up to 18 to 25%, everybody was excited. Everybody was investing in treasury bills. And now treasury bill has dropped again. So when you understand that economic indicators, economic circumstances, and you look at coronavirus now, COVID, is affecting a lot of investment options as well, right? So that's what you find in the money market. Let's go to the stock market, which is the capital market. Right. So in the capital market, you have the stock market because the capital market is where you really trade long-term instruments. Anything longer than a year is traded in the capital market. So you'll find the stock market in the capital market. You also find bonds, right? 2-year bonds, 5-year bonds. You find that in the capital market. So financial market is really where you bridge the gap between those that have and those that do not have. So government, companies come to raise money. And in return for raising that money, they give you a return. So it could be in terms of interest on your treasury bills for the money market on commercial paper, or it could be in terms of dividend if you buy stock or shares of a company in the stock market. So that's it in a nutshell. Financial markets is, this was created years and years ago in the Western world, and we've seen it go around globally as a way for basically for you to help take from those that have and give to those that don't. So there are companies that are doing a lot of good in this world. They need funds, right? So they will come to the market to raise money to do business. And in return for that, you are a shareholder of that business, right? And then you also earn dividend because you're a shareholder of that business. So basically, that's how financial markets work, right? So in Nigeria, we have a lot of people stay away from financial markets, especially the stock market, because they're afraid that they will lose money because of the history of the stock market. Exactly. But I was saying, I met one of my bosses recently. He was my very first boss after NYC, and we got talking and he told me about how he's been trading with his own money in the stock market for over 25 years. And I was amazed to learn the results he had achieved in terms of dividend. These are the stories we do not hear about. You only hear about people losing money and all of that, the market going bust. There are people actively trading the market and actively earning income from that market. So it was interesting to learn that there are stocks in this market that have done 300% in dollar terms over a period of 10 years, right? It was a lot of understanding, like how to pick the right companies, So yes, in terms of regulation, I need to say this because, the key reason why a lot of millennials stay away from this market is because they don't think that regulation is really doing their work. It's work, right? Because in terms of regulation, some companies should not be trading on the stock market. There are companies, for instance, that are trading and have not paid dividend for years, right? So we need the SEC or CBN, all of the financial regulators that manage the financial markets to be able to stand up. And we know that they are taking active steps, but to build more confidence, to build more investor confidence, we need to see that they are really regulating the market, because that's really what you see in more developed societies. So I cannot put money in a company and the company just goes south and that's it. Somebody has to step in to compensate me as an investor.
Join us tomorrow as she highlights the importance of regulation and sheds more light on investment clubs. And that will be all for this edition of the Market Opening Gong. Visit www.proshareng.com to get more updates from our news stories and videos. Connect with us on our social media platforms showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. The ProShare mobile app is also available on Apple Store and Play Store on your mobile device, which allows you to customize your preferred news and videos. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching and do stay safe.